You hop in and everything is intuitive. The shifter and the acceleration and the brakes and the steering all just kind of work in this wonderful harmony, and it goes back to the mission of a pure sports car where you don't need any kind of embellishments or enhancements. My name is Derek Powell, and I drive a 2016 Porsche GT4. I think Porsche has done a really good job of maintaining its purity over the years, even when it's spread across a couple of different models. You know, you've got the 911, which everyone loves, and it's been this evolution over the past 50 years of the same body shape. And you know, despite the Cayennes and the Panameras, Porsche's mission has always been sports cars. And when you talk about the purity of a sports car, Porsche really has it. So when they brought out the Cayman and the revival of the mid-engine sports car, you know, it was underpowered. Porsche didn't want to anger its 911 enthusiasts by offering something that could beat a 911. So here we are in 2016, and Porsche finally releases the Cayman with the power that it should have had from the beginning. So you've got a Cayman with a 911 engine, essentially, with a GT3 suspension and the handling of a mid-engine car. My first Porsche was a 2008 Cayman S, and before that I had never really driven a Porsche. I had driven Audis for 15 years, and I was actually at a track. I was driving an Audi and the power steering hose blew, so it sidelined me for the weekend, and one of the guys said, "Hey, do you want to go for a ride in my Cayman S?" I said, "Sure, why not?" And so we get on the track, and every corner that I had taken in the Audi, he took a lot more aggressively. And we were coming down the straight, and the end of the straight there was a 60-degree turn, and it wasn't too crazy, but the way it's banked and the way it turns, you think it's a lot sharper than it is. And we're just barreling towards it, and I think, oh my god, we're going to die. He's just not braking, and he brakes just a touch at the end, and the car just beautifully rotates in. And from that moment on, I thought, I need to get a Porsche. Here we are in 2016, and Porsche releases this GT4. And to me, the GT4 is kind of the ultimate reflection of what you can have as a pure sports car in 2016. I mean, sure, we've got the Alpha 4C, we've got the Miata, we've got a ton of little lightweight cars, but there's compromise there. There's road noise, there are fewer creature comforts, and technology has enabled us to do something that goes beyond just a bare bones fiberglass or carbon fiber tub with the engine just assaulting our ears. And that's not to say that the GT4 is not raw, because it is. But the Porsche also offers you just this refined driving experience without giving up any of its capabilities. And so the GT4 for me is kind of, it's like taking my Cayman S and just elevating it to its fullest potential. So where the steering was sharp on the Cayman S, the steering on the GT4 is sharper. Same with the shifter. It's the gear shift is just tight and precise, and you don't even need to think about it. The heel towing is so much faster, but the highlight of this car for me is the engine. It's just absolutely phenomenal, and it's the engine that the Cayman should have had from the start. And in fact, I actually have a theory on how you can tell a good engine from a bad. You know what I think the mark of a good engine is? You want to rev it. Like, you want to get up into those higher rev ranges and just listen to that shriek. So like 6,000 RPM doesn't feel like torture, it feels like orgasm. It feels like magic. It feels like a symphony. You get to, even if the red line is a high red line, in a poorly designed engine, you get up to 6,000 RPM, the car is begging for mercy. It just doesn't want to have that. And for this, it just goes and goes and goes. So I chose Brewster green for a couple of reasons. And first and foremost, because I love the color green. Second, it really does play into the mythology of owning several Porsches in a row. For me, the Cayman S was tangerine. It was a early 1970s color, and it just worked on that car. So when ordering the GT4, I knew that it had to be a special color. It's a special car, 1 year only, the likes of which we might never see again. And so when I first went down this path, I thought, okay, maybe I'll do something like slate gray or Irish green. And then I got obsessed with the 356 color palette. And then I thought, okay, I really want to do a fjord green with an oxblood interior. Then I found out that the GT4, because of its exclusivity, was not going to be offered in any interior color except black. And fjord green was not on the Porsche approved list of exclusive colors. So in researching the colors, I typed in Brewster green, and I got a picture of this 993 TTS in Brewster green in one of the Porsche museums. And the way the lighting was hitting it, it was just one of those non-metallic colors that just looks absolutely spectacular. So I pulled the trigger and I said, okay, I'm going to do Brewster green. So I go to Stuttgart to pick up my car, and it's sitting there under the dim lighting of the showroom in Zuffenhausen, and it's a completely different looking color than what I had spec'd out. And I look at it and I think, what did I do? It just looks so dull. The entire time I was in Europe driving it around, it was raining, it was cloudy, so I never got to see it in its full, beautiful, sunlit form until it got here. I went down to the dealership to pick it up, and the sun is hitting it just right, and especially you can tell on the mirrors when you're behind the steering wheel looking out, and there's that magical property of this color, this Brewster green, which just glows. There are so many special cars in the Porsche lineup, and everybody has a different one that's their favorite. And will this be my last one? I don't know. But I do know that I'm going to hold on to this car for a very long time.